All right, so today's objection we're going to talk about is when somebody says, hey, I need to speak with my spouse. This also could work if somebody says, I want to run it by my CPA, I want to run it by my mom, I want to run it by my dad, I want to run it by somebody that basically is giving you a stall as to why you can't move the process forward. And they give you the illusion that because that person's not there, that the process can't move forward. It's really just a way to put you off. I mean, think about it. As you've done the same thing to other people, you've done that because you were nice guying them or nice growing them. You didn't want to say, I'm just not interested, I don't want to move forward. You said you put it on somebody else. Well, I would like to do it, but I've got to run it by my spouse first. I've got to run it by my wife. I've got to run it by my husband. I don't do anything unless I talk to my CPA first. And then you don't look like the bad guy, and you can put it on somebody else. It's really just a stall. It's not an actual objection. It's not going to keep the close from happening. Now, in some cases, they're not going to sign on the dotted line without running it by them. But think about this. Anytime you have found something incredible in your life, whether it's a product or something you really wanted, and you knew that you needed to talk to your spouse, for example, before you bought it, you made sure that happened. Okay? If it's important to you, you make it happen. And so when people stall you and they say, yeah, I would love to let you put one of these plans together, but let me talk to my wife first or my husband first. Think about how successful it is in getting back together with them at that point. Most of the time it doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen because that wasn't the real objection. It's the stall that they were giving you. And so learning to overcome this is absolutely critical in our business. And I'm going to give you a way that works amazing. I got this from Grant Cardone. It's awesome. So you'd say something like this. If he or she said no to this, what would she say no to? It says not to. It should say no to. What would she say no to? Okay. If your CPA was to say no to this, what would he say no to? Would he say no to the investment amount we're talking about, the strategy we're talking about, or would he say no to doing business with me? What would your CPA say no to? See, it's a way for you to get to the real objection. Okay, if somebody says, I need to talk to my wife. Hey, I get that. First of all, you always want to agree. Hey, I get that. I mean, I run everything by my wife before I make any decisions. Okay, if your wife was to say no to this, what would she say no to? Would she say no to the investment amount we're talking about? Would she say no to the strategy? Or would she say no to doing business with me? What is it she'd say no to? And then just shut up and let them answer. See, now you're starting to get down to the real objection, and they can't use that as a stall for not moving forward. Again, they say, it looks good to me, but I want to run it by my dad first. Hey, I can appreciate you running it by your dad, and I take full responsibility for you needing to run it by your dad. If your dad was to say no to what it is we're talking about, what would he say no to? Would he say no to the investment amount? Would he say no to the strategy, or would he say no to doing business with me? What is it that he would say no to? And then just shut up and let them answer. So listen, learning how to overcome this objection is critical in our business. It's one of the most common objections you'll hear. And I promise you, it's not the actual objection. It's just what you're getting stalled with because you're not getting to the real objection. So I hope you found this helpful. Well, I know you did. It's not that I hope you did. Just a matter of, are you going to actually implement it?